Hey, what's up everybody? It's KyFy. I'm glad you could be here. If you've been with me before, it's good to see you again. And if you are new here, thank you for joining, because this is a special reading for the community. Basically, I created what's called the Zin-Finity Board, and it is a divination multi-tool. I wanted to basically give back to the community. The community helped me, and in the midst of me trying to figure out what I needed to give back, well, what I wanted to, God put me on to some kind of design and I created it. So once again, here we go. This is the Zin-Finity Board, and it's my baby, it's my beauty. If you've been with me, as I said before, if you like this content, throw a like. You know, I love those. Those help me get out to the community so I can share more. I want to get up there so we can get a community going of my own. That's one thing that I do, like one goal that I do have. Like, where's my tribe? I want to find it. I see people now and I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all don't even understand. But yeah. Also, the appreciation goes out to the new viewers, because you helped me get to the place that I want to be, and I appreciate you for being here. So let's get started. This is going to be my first reading for Sagittarius, and it's going to be a good one because I figured out a little bit more than I did the last reading. Every time I do a new reading, God gives me a little bit more to add to it to give you more value. Just add to the value of the reading. Basically, these are the 3 decks I'm going to be using. This is my sacred, what is it called? This is my Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. And this is the Wise Spell Tarot deck. And this is the Magic Seer deck. So those are the 3 decks I'm going to be using this reading. But I'm going to put this over here and keep these 2 down for right now. Now here is probably one of my favorite parts of the reading, is the attributes. I played too many games. I played so many games when I was younger, and in every game, usually fantasy type, there were 5 types of powers. It was always 5. But in my previous readings, I only had 4. But God gave me the 5th one, and it was so obvious. And that's the tool. So for Sagittarius in this reading, you have 5 basic attributes. And that goes hand in hand just because of the fact that you are a Sagittarius. I hope you can understand that. Like, because you are a Sagittarius, you have a set of skills that differentiate you from other people, from other signs. It's just basic in how it goes. So I figured out those stats, those attributes, I mean. And it goes like this. The first one is house. The second is fuel. The third is focus. The fourth is power. And the 5th is tool. So think of a tool. You can think of it as like a weapon. You can think of it as armor. But any tool that you use in your ascension process, in your daily life, that can go hand in hand with that too. So understand that it's your special tool and your special thing that you probably manifested or ran into that you use better than everybody else. It's just in you. It's a part of you. So we're gonna get down to those aspects basically. And let's keep going. So for the house, is the house of the Sagittarius. You can see it on the Tree of Life. It is the house of spirituality, and that's on Chesed, right? Chesed is right here, and the house of spirituality. So here we go with it. The next is fuel, which is mercy. The house needs something that powers it. You know, you need gas for the house to get some heat. You know, it's cold out. Just put it that way. The fuel for that house, for your house, and how you manifest and how you operate, what you need specifically, is mercy. And we're going to get into mercy, what it is specifically. But for the definition right now, mercy is a disposition to forgive or show compassion. That's what mercy is. So when I was growing up, especially in the church, you would hear, have mercy on me, forgive me, right? You would hear those things. But it's all in, when you forgive yourself, you can move on. Forgiveness, well, an unforgiving spirit is a block. Moving on from there, you have the focus, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune goes from chesed to basically your solar plexus, which is holding that sack, right? The power is the Temperance card, which goes from Yesod to Tiferet. And basically, we're going to get into the messages about what I got out of that and what it means on this board. We're going to get into it later, but I just wanted to give you a few details before we move on. So let me just run that back really quickly so I don't get nobody confused. There's the house, fuel, focus, power, and the tool, right? So the house is spirituality. The fuel is mercy. The focus is the Wheel of Fortune card. The power is temperance. And the tool is the action. Now, I want you to understand action. Well, let me first explain power and focus. Now, what does that mean specifically? My favorite example is the bow and the string. When you pull it back, there's the power in the pull back, right? But you have to focus it with your other hand. So if you want to hit your targets, if you want to achieve your goals, you have to have focus and power to go the distance and to go in that straight and narrow path. So understand what the focus and power does. The fuel is for the house, and your house is of spirituality. So you can do something highly spiritual in this world. And that doesn't specifically mean religious. This is energetic. We're in an energetic world. Spiritual has to do with the balancing of it all. How could you balance out the scales? I don't know why that came out right now. So if we see the Justice card come out, then this is it's gonna be good. But moving on from there, let's get into some of these messages. It's kind of weird how they came to me, so I just kind of wrote them down how it was coming out. So the first message is love the changes in the past tense. Now, what does that mean? If you've been seeing the number 555 or just fives everywhere, this is mainly for you. And that is the number of changes. So in the future, this is the example. In the future, when you're looking back, you understand that you went through something that you probably didn't even choose to go through, or you were put through, you were forced into, only to come out the other side and be thankful for it. So being thankful for the actions that happen in the future, well, for the realizations that happen in the future about what you're doing currently right now, you're supposed to be thankful for it. And by doing that, you release some of the energy and you can just kind of move on with more of, when you move this way, it's more like, what do I need to learn? What did I learn? And how can I move forward with this new information, new things I learned about myself, and achieve greater things, you know? That's how it really works. But moving on from there, the next message is change is inevitable. You cannot stop change. You cannot stop age. You cannot stop time, right? It's inevitable. So you must accept it and work with it. So there are some changes that are probably bound to happen in your life that you've been seeing. You have to just accept it and move on from it. It's not scary on the other side. It's beautiful. But the devil don't want you to know that. Because if you go that other route, I don't know why this is coming out, but you have the gift to put people in action, to get people in order. For some reason that's coming out. But if you can change somebody's path, if you can give somebody a piece of information that makes them move different in a beautiful way, that is going to trickle down to multiple people, and you're going to create a chain effect in this world. You never know what happens. Just holding the door for somebody could put them 10 seconds in front of themselves so they can catch the train. You never even, it's so many coincidences that happen. You just got to be a part of it. The next message is refer to yourself. When in doubt, refer to yourself, because that's the one that speaks the loudest in your head. That's the one that speaks constantly in your head. So if you can tame that beast, that demon, right? If you can stop this one from running so hard, then maybe you can focus a little bit more. And also, when you do that, you're gaining trust in yourself. You say, okay, I believe in myself. I believe that I should do this. I'm not going to listen to anything that anybody else is saying. I'm going to believe in myself. And time again, when you begin to do that, you start to trust yourself. And it only goes up from there. Next thing you know, you have less anxiety with your actions. You know that regardless if it turns out a little bit negative or if it goes good, you knew that it could go both ways. So it was less of a strain on your mental. Now, this next message is kind of strange for me because it's a whole message. I thought I was like writing a poem or something, but it wasn't. Understand this. The universe is inside you, and you are inside the universe. So, let me continue. Any action you take to nurture your own universe, the universe inside you, commands the universe outside of you to do your bidding. So let me say that again. The universe is inside of you, and you are inside this universe. Here's being one with God comes into play. That unity sense, right? Any action you take to nurture yourself, I hope you can understand this. If your mind is flipping to the other side, you're on the right track. Because you're supposed to understand that you are a piece of the universe and you can command it. It is for you. The universe is here to serve you. You just got to know how to use it. You got to follow the rules. It commands the universe to do your bidding. Therefore, master yourself, for you are the master of your own universe. So if you think these coincidences are happening to you, it's very tough to understand that one of those trickling effects that happened so far along in the past came not to bite you in the butt, but to teach you at the right moment. Because had it taught you any later, it would have been worse. God chooses the right time to teach us. A time that we won't break, but we will sit back, forced to learn the lesson. Not forced to learn the lesson, but offered an opportunity to learn the lesson or to start the cycle back again. You can do what you want. This is your universe. This is your life, right? But as I said in my last reading, how many times you came down here? I believe in reincarnation. So I don't know how many times that I've been trying to do this, but I'm here now, and I'm not going to give this chance up. So yeah. The next message is a lot of messages this time. I don't know why. It was just coming out for Sagittarius. Maybe because it was my rising. But yeah. The next message is a song, but it's just the first verses. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. You better get ready and bear this in mind. For God told Noah the rainbow shine. It won't be water but fire next time. Right? That last part got me and it was sticking in my head. It won't be water but fire next time. And I realized that as above, so below, as within, so without. If I'm taking that story and how it reflects to my life and what I've learned, there's the water birth first, when we come out the womb with a mother, and then there's the fire birth, which is like you call it like the phoenix moment, the rebirth moment, right? So it won't be water but fire next time. We can be reborn while we're still alive, but we're transformed in the mind. That's where our rebirth happens. Well, it happens everywhere, but that's where it's like kind of sticking to me right now. But that's the fire next time. So you knew that this fire was gonna come. You knew that these obstacles were gonna be in your way. You knew it. And it was hard to accept it because there was so much work to do at the time to prevent it from happening. But sometimes you can't prevent everything from happening. You can only brace yourself and get through it. It's almost like what just came into my head is, you know how in all of football movies and in football practices and things like that, you have the people, they hold the ball and then they run through everybody. They run through the line of everybody and everybody's hitting them with this, well, anything that they can find, pushing them, mushing them, just to see if they can get to the other side. And if they can't, they do it again. Or they try next time. You know what I mean? It's about building toughness and about building resilience and things like that. Not being afraid of opposition. So they knew that they had to go through it. And they just kind of accepted their fate, trusted in themselves, you know? That's what it's giving, that's what's coming out for me right now. So, if this helped you, I'm glad. And we're going to move on to the first part of the well, the first part. So, the first part of the reading is the prelude. Basically, the prelude is about the setting, what's around you, the backstory. So, we're going to get into those details with these oracle cards. And the oracle cards are going to go in the place of Da'at, Bariya, Yatsira, and Asiya. Why? Because those are the four spiritual worlds of emanation, creation, formation, and manifestation. So I hope you got that correct. I hope you understood that. I'm going to shuffle a little bit. Well, I shuffled a little bit before, but we're going to keep going. I always like to make sure y'all know I'm not cheating. Because I don't like to cheat. Black men don't cheat. That was for somebody. Just gonna start. Okay, this is for. Alright. As soon as I said, I was joking, I said black men don't cheat. But then the Divine Masculine card came out. So it came out in the place of, basically, this is your aspiration. The reason why you're here. What you're going after. What it's all for. But this is the spot of the Alpha and Omega, which is the beginning of and the ending of all things. Don't think just God. Think of the beginning of how much work it takes you to get there and what the experience is when you get there. That's the beginning and the end. So, let me get some more out. We're going to get into the description really quick, but there you go. I'm not biased to the floor. I don't care. But okay. That was probably a message in the first place. What came up for the mind is the soulmate. Oh no, that was it. Okay. Air. For the let me say this again. For the world of emanation, we have the Divine Masculine. For the world of formation, we have soulmate. For the world of creation, we have air. And for the world of manifestation, we have friendship. Alright. The fact that air is here means that you're battling emotions. Because if I'm being honest, this is a place of water. And this is air here specifically. So it could have been anything, but now it's air. But air is supposed to be on this side of the mind. It's a mental thing. But soulmate is over here. So maybe you won't reach your soulmate if you don't allow yourself to be emotional with it. Because, thank you. Emotions are energy in motion. So the more energy you have in motion, the greater thing that you can do. So if we're talking games again, the more power you have behind what you're doing, the bigger or harder it's gonna hit. So this is why we go through so much. We have to go through the emotions and capture them and understand them and get through them. Understand how to get through it. So the next time you reach that emotion, it's in a form that you can use and do something with. So that's what the emotions are about. And this is why if it's a terrible, not terrible, that's OD. So maybe terrible is the feeling. Grimy, gritty. You know, we could be going through a whole bunch, but have a facade that says, "Oh, we're doing fine. Oh, I'm good. I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm going to my dream. I'm working on it. Yeah." But when you sit alone in your house, you got that death stare, like just sitting there thinking to yourself, not knowing what to do. Just like, okay, let me get back on my phone to distract myself. That's what it's about. But that's what this is giving me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to go through it. Got it. So, for the world of emanation. Let's get Divine Masculine really quickly. Alright. The Divine Masculine is the embodiment of logic, direct action, and strength. In his most evolved aspect, he represents the builder, the protector, and the guardian. Drawing this card can symbolize that divine masculine energy is needed to balance your current situation. It can also represent father, brother, healing, and the healing of relationships with the divine masculine in your life. So, let me get you to understand the difference between divine and divine masculine and divine feminine, right? So, the feminine is on this side, the masculine is on this side. When you think of anything with action, that's a masculine aspect. When you think of anything as a creation, so you create ideas, you emanate ideas, you manifest ideas, you have these subconscious thoughts, but that's a creation. You trained yourself to think that way, and it just does it automatically. But you created it, you allowed it to. But the more mental aspect is in the feminine, the more active aspect is in the masculine. So when it comes up to the things that goes on in your mind, what got me to move my arm just now? That's a masculine aspect. I will move my arm just like this for no reason, right? But that's it. I will think of what to do. I will sit there and think of what to do. That's masculine. Even though that you're using your mind, deliberation is masculine. That's the subconscious aspect is feminine. All the things that work behind the scenes is feminine. So when you nurture yourself, let's get to it. Let's keep going. Next up is the soulmate. That's over the mind. So let's see. A significant... Oh, I didn't even show you the divine masculine, but I'll get you understand it, right? But a significant partnership, soul connection, and the meeting of kindred spirits. Drawing these cards mean that you have met a soul connected relationship. While this can indicate a romantic connection, it can also signify any relationship meant to work together on a soul level. This partnership is special. Learn from each other, be good to each other, and be in gratitude for the connection. Even our perceived adversaries are profound soulmate connections. You can always draw another card for clarity around the purpose of your connection. Meditate on this symbol when you want to connect on a deeper soul level with friends, family, and or companions. Can also be used to call in a soulmate relationship. So we understand what the soulmate is, but if I'm thinking about it, this looks like the up and a down tetrahedron, which is the echokaiba. So that's a union. Definitely, it's always a union. So what it just said to me is that I can have an item that I'm soulmated with. So you can have a car that's your soulmate, and you can have a relationship with it. How good do you take care of your things that you have? You know, will they work in the future if it keeps going this way? Yeah, let's move on to air. Air is on Bariya, which is of the spirit, and as I said before, this is a parallel energy. So it's your mind is taking the place of creation. You're stressing too much instead of making things that you can use to relieve the stress. It seems simple, like just do it, right? That's what it's giving me. Alright, so friendship on the world of manifestation. This is Asiya, so let's get it. I didn't even read air, but for some reason I was supposed to read friendship first. So, a new ally, positive support, community, and the camaraderie. Meditate when you want more harmony and peace in your community. Also used to draw new alliances and friends. So, I don't understand why I did that. Alliances and friends and community and positive support. But let's look at air really quickly. Alright. Logic, right? Critical thinking, facts, information, research, and reasoning are required at this time. You may also need more information before proceeding. Drawing this card asks you to call on the element of air to help you find healthy solutions. Meditate on this with this symbol to call on more of the air element in your life. Enhance the logical thought and inspire new ideas. Use incense, channel writing, and journaling to enhance the power of this element. So, writing is a craft. When you write, you're literally writing down your emanations into a word form that has a place, right? So this thought is now down on a piece of paper. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's not up in the mind, it's on a piece of paper. So maybe jotting down what you went through will relieve some of the mental stress, because sometimes when you write, you have like little notes that you want to write on the side that says, like, say if you went through something negative, but I found that $10 on the floor. Like, it could be anything, but it was something positive and a negative that'll probably come out. Something better you can think about to attract better to your life. Because when you're in a negative energy, negative spaces, you're like a magnet. So understand that even though it's a tough battle, you got to keep that energy off of you, because more of the energy on you, those, I'm gonna just call them entities, say, oh, we can live here, oh, okay, now this is cool for us to live here, or let's see what's here now, and they're gonna be messing with you. You know, that's the idea behind it. But it's all emotions. What people say is, I heard somebody talk about dreams and how when they scare you or make you go through desirable things in your dreams, they're harvesting the emotions. So if they scare you in your dream, that's the emotion, the energy coming off your body. They can eat or take. It's something weird. It's like a succubus kind of energy, a leech kind of energy going on. So if you got leeches in your life, you understand what they're doing. They sucking your blood, and this is your love. This is basically, alright, we're gonna get there. Okay, so now that the prelude is out the way, we're gonna get into the first part, well, the second part, which is the Viscera Vitalis. So now that we're finished with the prelude, I hope you got a little bit of what God has you here to listen. So I'm going to be giving fresh perspective on the situation. I don't know what the situation is specifically, but I do have ideas and examples of what's going on around you and what's blocking you already. So this has to do with your karma, your dharma, and what's coming towards you and things like that. But let's move on. The first part of the reading is Viscera Vitalis. And basically what I do is I draw 9 black cards. I'm going to shuffle, so y'all know I'm not cheating, right? Always say that now. Alright. So the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And that's this air energy that's right here. So maybe you're about to find it, or you're going towards it, or at least you have a path, you have a map, you have a guide. Maybe there's some video that you ran up on that gave you some ideas, or maybe you overheard a conversation that said, oh snap, I needed to do that, I forgot about that. You never know. God puts you in certain situations so you can get the message or miss it. Hopefully you get it, right? God gonna keep throwing you messages. Let's get some of these cards out. And where these cards are going is in the place of the Sephiroth itself. Perfect card to have there. Page of Wands. And this is in the place of your crown, Ketha, which is the world of emanation is there. And it should be fire, but it can be anything. But the fact that it's fire means that you have all the energy. You have all the ambition. And being yourself is how you, I'm going to say harvest it. Harvest, the word that came out in my mind just now. Okay. So, Pokemon, the Devil. Now the Devil is an earth card. So this side is earth and fire. This side is water and air. Right? Now the fact that earth came in this side means that you're on the right path. So far so good with everything besides this mental thing going on here. But why is the Devil in the right place doing the right thing for you? So this is almost like a temptation to just stop and go back to what you were doing. Yeah, there's a lot of temptation. Alright. Okay. The Six of Pentacles. Now, this is an earth on the side of water and air. So this is not supposed to be here. But sometimes Six of Pentacles could be a good card. But we're gonna figure that out. So that's a little bit off. And it's giving me, when I see this card, well, when I see Earth on this side like that, it's a blockage. Okay. There you go. Nine of Swords. I'm gonna get the descriptions of these, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of the face value. Well, put this down real quick. Kind of just want to get these cards out. The Queen of Wands. Okay. T for that. Two of Swords. Okay. 9 is the Hanged Man. And the Four of Wands. Alright. So I'm already seeing a pattern here. Your inner world is good. You nurture yourself just fine. But it seems like people take away from you when it comes up to what you need to do for yourself. I don't know. Maybe your passions are lined up right with other people's vices. So if your passion is to, like, I don't know. For lack of a better example, if your passion is to grow like bud, and then somebody else's vice is to smoke it, and that's your friend, you see how that could be a relationship that can be mismanaged. That friend might take advantage of you. That codependent relationship, but one-sided, but it's in the way of your passion. It's not like you're gonna stop growing because that's what you do. That's what you're brought here to do, right? Why would you stop it? But yeah, this is what this is giving me right now. But I'm gonna get a little bit of, before I forget, I'm going to draw, or not, Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands. Now, the card that's the element that should be up here is either air or fire. And since it's fire, it's really good to be there. It can be anything, but when it's focused on the element that it should be, you know we're in the right lane. We're in the right line to do something, well, to at least be on the path of the blessings. That's what it is. Because if you're in the right lane, you'll get blessed just because. No matter what you're doing on that lane, you're in the right lane. What I'm gonna do now is just put the clarifying cards here. Basically I'm gonna go down the line on what's off suit right now. So when you look at it, you have the Six of Pentacles that's off suit. You have the Nine of Swords that's off suit. You have the Queen of Wands that's off suit. This is off suit. This is off. This is good. And this is off. So you can see where this is going. Your inner world is messed up. And it starts with this card right here. So this is where it starts to go wrong. So the Six of Pentacles is going to have a good message with it. I can feel it. That is... Okay. I don't know why I did that. But... This is your house... Well, this is on the third eye. These two right here, Bina and Hokmah, on the Tree of Life is the third eye. And specifically, Bina is the ambition side of it. Right? Let me shuffle some more. So far, I hope you like the reading. If you do, give it a thumbs up, because it's about to turn up, because I can understand what's going on. When you have a blockage like this, it requires a lot of brute force. And this is why what you're going through is so painful, because we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. But I can start drawing now. So for the first clarification, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is a water card. So that's clear. That's too many. Okay. For the next clarification, It starts with this. It isn't correct yet, but it's still offsuit. It's the 6 of Cups, and this is on the wrong side. So understand that this is the side for earth or fire. Something to burn, and the energy of, the energy to burn, right? But in fact, this is the will and the rhythm. This is the will, this is the rhythm. But let me keep going. You can't burn water. You can only boil it. And this is why this is not in the right place. You can put something like, you can put any kind of manna, any kind of meat, any kind of substance into a pot of water to get it out of it. So the substance is here. But since this is water, there's no substance, right? Nothing to actually use, just something to cook with. So your emotions are in the way, but you have something to learn. That's what it is. Strength card is, that's a fire card. So, wow, okay. Next card that came out, this came out in reverse. This is the 5 of Wands reversed. And also, it's offsuit, so let's see what else happens. And this is the Temperance card, and that's also fire. So let's get something else. But this is your power card. The Temperance is your power card. So it's funny that this comes out over here, because you are using your power in the right areas. What you're focusing on is not necessarily wrong, but it's almost like you're not getting the bullseye, and getting one bullseye will get you to the next board, right? You just gotta clear this one thing. You can't quite focus enough for it. You can't quite see yourself there because you can't imagine it. Let's get some more. Queen of Cups, and this finishes this run right here. So now it's good, right? We're gonna get these descriptions, but we're just gonna talk about it. Right after the power, you was able to sit down. You was able to relax. Okay, so for Tiferet, which is offsuit with the 9 of Cups, the next one is the 9 of Wands. So if you're gonna get rid of all the water in the wrong place, okay, before I even say that, this inner box right here needs to be specific to the element. So this is air, fire, water, earth, right? So it must end off on the element. So since it's not, we're gonna keep going. But the fact that you have 9 cups and 9 wands, you had 9 different types of emotional barriers to cross, and you crossed all 9 of them. So congratulations, because God is proud of you too. Don't think that what you went through you ain't gonna get blessed for that. Okay, it's this card. The Knight of Cups. Now that's not finished yet. The Hanged Man is still water. The max I can do is 6 on each spot, because it's 13 slots, and 13 times 6 is 78. So I won't go over that number for that purpose. The 10 of Pentacles. This is going in a weird... Okay. When having everything you want is not enough. That's harsh. That's hard to go through. So what do you even do? Like, you didn't use all your effort to get to a place that did not give you the desired result. It just didn't. No matter which way you attack it, not meaning that you're attacking it physically, but you know you're planning around it, trying to get to it, find a way to achieve it. It still wasn't enough. I don't know why that's coming out right now. Alright, so that's the last card on this run, and it's not finished yet. Which means lackluster. That's what that means. But you're passionate. Oh, okay. This is for... Okay. I see what's going on. There's a lot of big moments that are happening so fast. You're growing, but you can't see only growth. You can see a lot that you lost. Okay. Page of Pentacles. See, big moments. Alright, got the Magician down. So, the Magician is an air card, but I like to see the Magician when it comes up to fire because it's almost like the same effect. The Fool and the Magician to me is like the spiritual fire. So, you're thinking the right way. You're creating so many ideas, and it's only a matter of time before one works. One is good enough to actually you take action on. Okay, Sun flip. Two things flip. The crazy thing is, this air card came out, and no other air card came out yet, besides this Nine of Swords. It's the air. No time to think. Only time to do. Maybe I need to shuffle. Alright. So that helped a little bit, I guess. So we ended that off with the Three of Swords. I still got one more. Wait, let me see. Since it's not fire, I messed up. Since it's not fire, I still gotta keep going. I don't know why I thought that was fire, because it hurt so much. I was like, that must be it. Oh man. Talking about sufficiently gassed. Justice card. I told you it was gonna come out. Got one more. I already see what the problem is. But what more can show itself? Alright, so gotta move on. I believe temptation is getting the better of somebody. And it's causing you to either have to make up for it all, or it's almost like a sentence. Like you have to put a certain amount of time in. Wow, in order to move on. Maybe your luck ran out. You lost a little bit of money, and well, not a little bit. This is a lot. Let me move on, because it'll come to me. So the Hangman is correct. It's on suit, but when it comes to the Four Wands on Malkuth, on Malkuth is off suit. So let's see. Okay. The Lovers. The Chariot. Not Earth yet. A lot of Earth came out already. Okay, so it ended off better than the rest. So here we go with it. The good thing about what I noticed is your gift card. And we're not gonna read this first, we're gonna read this one first, but your gift can fill any place here that needs a little bit of fire, right? So in a sense of your rhythm, this could have all been eluded had you used your gift at the right time Or had you trained yourself in something that you thought you might have had a little inkling of to learn? Maybe like I said before, you ran into a conversation and said, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was supposed to do that a year ago. I was supposed to do that so long ago. And now it escaped me. But it came up in a conversation that had nothing to do with me. So here's my chance to go do it now. It's almost like forgetfulness. The same goes for this area right here when it comes to your strength. But that has to do with trust. If you don't trust yourself and what you can do, you can't use it. It won't benefit you. It'll do something else. It'll be worse. Before I move on, I wanted to talk about the 9th house really quickly. The 9th house of spirituality rules our belief systems, ideologies, and religions. Also is in charge of all kinds of higher learning and philosophy. So the reasons behind doing what you want to do gives you the most energy, or you get the most out of it. Maybe what you want is not offered to you where you are. Maybe you have to go somewhere else completely different in order to get it. And this is something that you already knew. So what kind of fear is stopping you? Or maybe it's an outcome that you don't want, a life that you don't want to be a part of, but you have to be willing to go through it, to take the shots, right? So let's start with the Page of Wands, right? And this is in the place of Ketha, which is your mentalism, your place of empathy and unity. The identity is universal, so it's your essential nature. The planet is Neptune, and the house is secrets when it comes up to this Ketha right here. So let's get it for you. Page of Wands. I like to use the Wise Spell deck or the explanation book because I feel like it gives me the best explanations and the most clarification. So for your essential nature, right? You have this adventure, excitement, fresh ideas, cheerfulness, energy, fearlessness, and extroversion. The Page of Wands represents the spark of creativity, inspiration, and energy. The crazy thing is your creativity was blocked at first. So it required the energy of the High Priestess, which goes from here to Ketha through the veil. You needed to see past the fear. Once you saw past the fear, you were able to move. All you needed was to see. You can never picture it. It's like the trial of an artist, how they see the finished image and don't exactly know how to get to it, but you know how what's there. You can only go from what you can do right in front of you. You got to put it all together, and it's like a symphony, like a puzzle. Alright, well, let's keep going. You may be experiencing the excitement of new ideas, big goals, and eagerness to achieve your dreams. So not only are you motivated, you're eager. So that's like, if you knew what to do, it would be done already. And that's not the problem. So what is it to do? But the funny thing is, this is talking about your creativity. And this is the place of creativity. Or specifically, this whole area right here. And this area right here is out of whack. We're going to get to it because this is basically a still life of the mind. So if I was to just pause life really quickly and understand the energies that are in motion, this is what you would see. And this is the reason for the Zin-Finity Board. So when it gets to the app, you'll understand all of this at the touch of your finger. So like and subscribe to this channel, and let's move on. We'll get there. Hopefully more exposure, the more readings I can give, the more people I can reach, and I'll be able to get everything done myself, you know. Just gotta go. Yeah. It's a whole process of learning how to trust yourself. I'm here for it, apparently. I came down here for this reason, so we're gonna get to it. So for the place of Hokmah, which is your light, or also known as your soul star, right? This is the devil. And the devil card is in the place of, let me get, so really quickly, this is what you need. This is what you want. This is what you desire. This is what you will. Now, in order to get what you need, to obtain what you desire, you need spiritual energy. And this energy has air in it, and the spiritual energy is of the water content, right? So you're not getting the right gas, or you're being gassed up. After that, this is what you love, or I should say what you care for, what you move towards. This is how you act to get it. This is how you feel about it. And this is who you are to get it. What you have obtained to get it. This is the place of I am, I feel, I act, I love. Or in my case, if you've been with me, I don't look at love as love anymore. Love is movement. When God moves in your life, you would think that he loves you. It's like, oh, let me just put this money right here on the floor while you're walking. And next thing you know, you'll see this $100 bill floating on the floor. And you needed that $100 bill. And you also have extra to just sit back and relax for that one day that you needed because your foot was hurting. Some random a random set of events that leaded you all the way down in the gutter. And the next thing you know, you were back on your feet like, oh, that was terrifying, but God got me. Apparently, he loves me. Maybe God wants to tell you that he loves you. He got you, and you're gonna get through it. It's easy to say it, but to feel it is a different story, and that comes with experience. So here's your time to experience God's love. Oh man, that hurts, because y'all know how we act with love. It's the most terrible thing and the most beautiful thing ever at the same time. So why would God's love be any different? It's filled with hardships, but that's what makes it beautiful. Alright, so if that was for you, that was for you. Let me get the devil card really quickly. So, oppression, addiction, obsession, dependency, excess, powerlessness, and limitations. This is the control of those things. So, let's just say you're in complete control of your habits. And that's not an easy place to get to. So, congratulations again. Because we can have habits just going on your phone. Let me check my Facebook for the 15th time in the last hour. That's a habit. What are you missing? What are you missing? The new video that came out? Like, what are you missing? The fear of missing out is so prevalent in so many people that they will do the most to be a part. People are augmenting their bodies because they want to be a part of being looked at like a piece of meat. Like, okay. Yeah. Real men love real bodies, and it don't matter if it's skinny or not. Everybody got an ass bent over. That's my motto. So that comes with a sense of confidence, right? It's funny, but at times you need to appreciate what you have. So judging yourself that hard and saying that you don't, you're missing the point. You're missing, I don't know, maybe this is about just beauty right now, because beauty gets you into a lot of places. If you're pretty, you can get anywhere, but it won't keep you there. They be like, oh, she's a beautiful dummy, he's a beautiful idiot. It won't keep you there. It'll get you there though. So some beautiful things got into your presence. Yep, it was pretty. It definitely was what you was looking for, but it can't stay. Can't stay. It was just pretty, just something to see and move on from. That's harsh, but you know, we live in a world where people don't take no prisoners. Like, they want to get what's theirs and win completely. They want utter defeat. They want you to be utterly defeated. And you know, it's shocking when it comes up to people. Shocking how much like they can't lose. Some people cannot take an L, and if you don't know how to lose, you can't grow, because you won't even fight no more. If you can't lose, if you can't bear it, you know how they say, if you can't take the heat, stay out the kitchen. If the heat in the kitchen for you is self-actualization and growth and spiritual growth, then it's going to be tough. I don't think it's necessary for you, the person who's listening right now, because you're here on that spiritual journey. So it's something else. It's somebody else. That was just the devil. But yeah, let's go to the dark, which is Binah. And this is known as the Earth Star, right? It started off with the Six of Pentacles and it ended off with the High Priestess. So let's get that really quickly. Generosity, charity, community, material help, support, sharing, giving and receiving, gratitude. This is the card of gratitude, so there's probably a lack of gratitude. Because if you're not grateful for the things that you're going through, that gives you the new knowledge. Alright. How much you want to bet that you prayed to God about your dream? Or if I would do this, I'll be so grateful. I'll be your number one person that you can count on, God. I'll do this. Right? So God says, okay, here's what you need to learn. Here's what you need to know in order to do that for me. God says, here, what you gonna do about it? Every time. But it doesn't actually, it's not meant to defeat you. It's meant to teach you. So what kind of lessons did you come down here for? What kind of lessons did you come down here for? You were built for it. It's not gonna break you. And if it's an emotion, I want you to look at your body real quick. Did it hurt you? Did the emotion hurt you? No, it made you feel away. But that's something you can control. That's something you have to allow to happen. And the fear of missing out, especially when somebody says they're gonna leave you, the fear of missing out, especially when you can't be a part of that crowd anymore that does that vice that keeps you getting into bad situations, going out too much, meeting the wrong people. When you can't do that no more, what happens then? But Six of Pentacles, it was about receiving and gratitude. When I saw gratitude, I saw stealing. Stealing your ideas. Because if you remember this, there's a shape here that's in the form of a triangle, right? And then it ends off at the world of creation. So this is the focal point of the world of creation. This is what the creation is for. Is to will it into existence after you manifest the idea, right? We're gonna get to it. But this Nine of Swords left you in a bad position, probably crying your eyes out, or drinking your heart out, or going out a lot. You know, what is it called? Oh, despair comes in many forms. and we hide it very well. There's so many ways to hide despair. There's so many ways to hide disappointment. There's so many things to do. You can put up a picture that gets so many likes, and it'll take you away from your disappointment for like 5 seconds, and that is worth it. But now it becomes an addiction where you have to keep getting these likes and keep getting that gratification in order to just shove down the emotion of what you went through. But as I said before, emotion is just energy towards, right? So the reason why you have so much pent up emotion is because you're ready to do something. You don't know what it is. That's a lot of energy. A lot of watch when I get a chance to do this thing kind of energy. A lot of God better not give me that opportunity energy. Like, you better not give me that opportunity, because like it's almost like a reverse threat. It's a thankful and you better not. If you know, you know. Because I'm not explaining that. Alright. So it went from there to the High Priestess. Unconscious intuition, mystery, spirituality, higher power, or inner voice. Okay. It's related to inner knowledge. Her appearance in a reading can signify that it's time for you to listen to your intuition rather than prioritizing your intellect and conscious mind. I remember, the message was refer to yourself, and this card came up telling you to refer to yourself. Now, this is why it's out of whack. What are your sources for your actions? What have you been watching? What do you look at constantly that says, or rather, what is your dream? And does it put you in a place that you don't want to be? Yeah. But to be uncomfortable is like a clear sign of currently growing. Because comfortability is stagnant. When you're comfortable, you don't need to do anything. So you just sit there, chill, watch the days go by. But when you're uncomfortable, now I have to get up and go to work and do this. Now I need to find a better way to get this done. Now, you see how much action and activity, this is what you came for. You came to experience life. So what are your experiences? Your experiences are golden and precious, worth more than anything, any number you can imagine. Especially if you got through it. Alright. So the High Priestess is done. Moving on to Chesed, which is the will. We have the 9 of Pentacles to the 6 of Cups to the Strength card, which finished it. Alright, so the 9 of Swords, I think I said Pentacles, but the Swords goes as follows. Fear, anxiety, negativity, breaking point, despair, nightmares. I didn't mean to look at y'all like that, but like I literally just said despair. Literally. So that's the confirmation there. Despair can hide in many forms. And this is 9-pointed despair. But when you get to that 10, you're done. Ain't no more despair needed. You've been let down on everything you can think of. So there's nothing else to... Oh. Rock bottom is where the self lives. When you hit rock bottom, there's nothing but yourself to rely on. That's true. I don't know what God is trying to get me to say right now, but rock bottom is so... Rock bottom is the best foundation you could be on. Because it's sturdy. Nothing to cook. No, not nothing to cook. Nothing to harvest around you because it's rock bottom. There's a message here that I can't really vocalize right now. It'll come back. Okay. So went from there to the 6 of Cups. Let's get that. Now this is nostalgia, memories, familiarity, right? Healing, comfort, sentimentality, pleasure. Now pleasure is here. This is the pleasure area, the pleasure principle, whatever. If you're listening to Janet right now, this is for you. Sometimes pleasure requires creativity. Hence, Kama Sutra. Every movement is a whole new thing, but somebody had to be creative enough to think about it. Everything you do for somebody has a creative aspect because they have their own personality. You won't just give flowers to somebody. You'll get a certain color because they like it, a certain type of flower because they like that flower. It's not just about the flowers, it's specifics and things that people like. So the familiarity on what you like is not giving you the sense of pleasure that you once had. So of course you need to go find something new. Of course you need to go on that journey. Of course you need to get rid of a lot of things that are around you. Of course you needed to be at rock bottom, because if what you had, which was everything, I know I said it here, you have everything that you can think of, and it's not enough. Alright, so you went from there to the strength card. Very good card to have on your will, because the strength card holds your manifestations. If you can understand that, the strength card holds your manifestations. So courage, bravery, confidence, compassion, self-confidence, and inner power. When you get the strength card in the upright manner during your tarot reading, it shows that you hone inner strength and fortitude during moments of danger and distress. So the fear and anxiety, you found a certain strong point. I like to think of it I play spades. So when I get a bad hand, I just look at what power I have. If I have all the hearts in the game, I'm ruling hearts, or my partner knows I cannot rule hearts, because that's power. Nobody knows what anybody has, but if I know that nobody's bringing hearts out, I can set it up for somebody else. So, and it will only benefit me because we're playing the same team. So this is you and your partner right here, and it's both in your mind, your desire and your will. Now, your will has everything at its disposal, but it doesn't know where to go, doesn't know the map, because it can easily be overridden because the game is set up, not rigged, but to rig up something is to create and build also. So maybe that's the rig I'm thinking. Okay, well, that's handled. So let's go to the next portion, which is desire, and this is on Gebura. The first card out was the Queen of Wands. Then we had the Five of Wands reverse, the Temperance card, and then it finished off and completed with the Queen of Cups, right? So let's start off with the Queen. Oh wow, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, perfect. Just opposites, right? So this is fire, this is water. Opposites. That's a good, and funny enough that the Hangman is here. Different perspective. Now that you have this different perspective, what's happening in the area of desire. So the Queen of Wands, confident, self-assured, passionate, determined, social, charismatic, vivacious, and optimistic. Now, the reason why that's bad to have here in your desire is because nothing is achieved yet. These are just energies towards something. Now, no, I said it wrong. You achieve these feelings after you've done the thing. So after you've completed the assignment, then you have these feelings of confidence and self-assuredness and passionate, or being determined, the energy of being determined, social, charismatic, vivacious, and optimistic, right? Wow. Okay. So this is a place of water or air, but the reason why it can be water or air with a little heat. So the Queen of Wands creates a certain amount of pressure. When you boil your water, it creates atmosphere, right? So you are only concentrated on creating a space for the thing. You know about the space that holds your vision. You know about the space. You know where it needs to be. Never seen it, but this Queen of Wands is holding a sunflower. Alright, we went from there to the Five of Wands. So from more fire to less fire. Alright. Conflict, competition, arguments, aggression, tension, rivals, clashes of ego. I knew ego was going to come up because all that vivacious energy and stuff like that. Oh, I'm this and I'm this and I'm... You see how you kind of boasting yourself up, but you got to go through the thing. It don't matter what you're saying. Are you strong enough to go through it this time around? Not for somebody. So from there we went to Temperance. Temperance is right here. Temperance is also your power card. So let's see. So Temperance: balance, peace, patience, moderation, calm, tranquility, harmony, and serenity. What is it about? Oh, okay. Your mind is overheated. So shutting down for a few days, meaning taking your mind off the matter. How can you take your mind off the matter while you're going through it? There's a certain amount of duties that need to be done, and you don't have to actually be conscious while you're doing this. I don't know why this is coming up. You can be aware of what you're doing, but once you set the plan in motion, you don't have to be conscious of it. You can just do the things. Why? Because if you're conscious of every part of it, you're gonna understand that you're tired. You're gonna understand that you want to give up. You're gonna understand that this is painful. You're gonna understand everything. You'll have time to understand everything, but it also just deters you from doing it. So feel the emotions or not, which way you want to go with it. Sometimes the balanced approach is the best, because you'll be thinking too much and not understanding that when you get there, it's not what you actually want. It just sounds nice. It's formative. Like, yeah. So your power is balance, peace, patience, moderation, calmness, tranquility, harmony, and serenity. How is that your power and there is no serenity? So, oh man. I don't know what this word is. This is like on the tip of my tongue. But when you're addicted to going after the thing and all you can think about is chasing, addicted to the chase, addicted to the hunt, but can't really nurture it after you achieved it, after you tame the animal, if you got it. You understand what I mean? But there's no building, there's only hunting. Hunting is cool, but you can't eat if you don't prepare it after you finish hunting it. You gotta prepare the food, you gotta gut it, you gotta take all the insides out, you gotta skin it. You can't just hunt and expect it to just be food that you can eat. There's a lot that goes into it. So hunting is nice, you're a skilled hunter. But how good are you with the details? The details matter after a while, because you end up in a place where you don't want to be. And that's where we're going to go now. We're going to go to the Queen of Cups and then go to the place of pleasure. The Queen of Cups: compassion, warmth, kindness, intuition, healing, counseling, and support. This has to do with honoring your sensitivity. And that's you supporting yourself. So So how does supporting yourself look like on this board? Let's just say this is one person, this is another person, and when these two have union, or these two have the same goal, you guys can manifest and create something new, have new experiences, create better things. But this is all a mental aspect. So there are perspectives in your mind that's these cards hold right now. Is 9 perspectives, 4 worlds, and the energies around it. But using these perspectives, well, I should say, when you learn your perspectives, when you learn what pleasures you, when you learn how to move with yourself, how to actually be rhythmic, I don't even know the word, but doing things in succession, keeping your promise, keeping your word. Let's move on, because we're gonna get to it. So when it comes up to Tiferet, which is polarity or the air, the identity is the social, the sense is to taste and understand. When you taste victory, if you can understand tasting victory is what? Victory is not a thing that you can touch, but you can achieve it. It's a soul possession. So, or a spiritual possession, whichever way you want to hear it. So, in regards to your heart chakra, you started off with the 9 of Cups, and this is just emotions blocking your mind. Then you went to you canceling out yourself. I said it right. Then it went to the Knight of Cups, which is back to the emotions, but understanding why you had it, why you had the emotions in the first place. And I didn't even see I didn't even notice that the Hangman came out before, and it came out here too. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Then it went from there to the 10 of Pentacles, telling me that you have abundance, and it's not what you want, or it's somebody else's abundance. You don't want to live under them no more. You don't want to be like their shadow, or you want to stand out to let them know that you can do it yourself. So this is a weird topic, because let's just say there's a husband and a wife, right? The husband goes out to make the money, the wife stays at home. But then she gets to a point where she says, you know what? I want to be seen like you are. And be, well, not trading places, but different experiences. That's really what it is. I want the experience that you have. Alright, so starting with the 9 of Cups, we have wishes coming true, contentment, satisfaction, success. You have satisfaction here, but it's not in the right area. So who are you satisfying? You're not thinking about yourself. You're not your own pleasure is not at the forefront of your focus. Other people's pleasure is. And look at him. He's done pleasuring other people. That's what that gave me. That's self-explanatory. So I almost felt like I just needed to move on, because that's harsh. Pleasuring somebody else and getting rid of all of that so you can stand up and move on. That's what that gave me just now. So let's go to the 9 of Wands. Last stand, persistence, grit, resilience, perseverance, near success, fatigue. Find out how to make what other people needed you for work for yourself and give you what they were getting. So reclaiming your power and your abundance. So it's not that you weren't abundant. You had everything that you wanted, but that wasn't you. Everybody around you had everything coming out of you, You were giving everything to everybody else, fulfilling their needs to the point where you had nothing to give yourself. But now you're switching it up to the point, or you should switch it up to the point where you benefit the most. Yeah, you benefit the most. That's what that's giving me. So from there, you go to the Knight of Cups. Idealistic, charming, artistic, grateful, tactful, diplomatic, mediator, and negotiator. So this is a controlled emotional state. During a debate or during a meeting for like a deal or something like that, let's just say business to business, y'all trying to make a deal, go 20% on this. No, I can't do 20, let's do 30, right? No, I can't do 30, the max I can go is 25. Deal, right? There's a sense of not having the emotion there, but still fighting for what you believe in. So yeah, I said that right. So going from there, we have the Hangman, which came up twice, and this is the second time it came out. So let's get it. So the Hangman, sacrifice, waiting, uncertainty, lack of direction. It's these two places, so I'm gonna just read for both. Lack of direction, perspective, contemplation. At present, a period of trials has come into your life, which dictates the need to learn some lessons. When you write, you write. Yeah. You are going through a transitional period, realizing that you are stuck halfway from the old to the new. Clinging on to what's old disallows the new thing to be in your life. So it's almost like you're playing a tug of war and winning against yourself. Champion. I think God wanted to say that. You champion. You. Good job. Good job. That's terrible, because imagine allowing whatever it is to happen is the right thing, even though you're looking at it and it's like, how could you really say that to me? How can that be the right thing? You're not God. You don't see the benefit at the long run. You only see the pain that you don't want to acquire. You don't want to go through that pain. So yeah. Now here's where that abundance came in. Having everything you need, but having so much around you, but it's nothing. It's not giving you anything. Getting nothing of what you have around you. And this is why I say people were stealing. It could have been your ideas, but it could have been your manifestations too, or your blessings, or the extra money that comes to you for no reason, or the amount of people that comes around you. Maybe people want to link around you and just use you for that. You always the third wheel, fifth wheel, seventh wheel, whatever. It's time to even out the score. So the 10 of Pentacles, legacy, roots, family, ancestry, inheritance, windfall, foundations, privilege, affluence, stability, tradition. Wow. This is like, you know how, let's just say the American dream is bullshit, but let's just talk about it, right? The American dream gives you legacy, your dream, or usually what people really dream about, how they want to have a big family, mansion, this business, that, just staples of the family anyway. Is the legacy, the roots, the family, ancestry, the inheritance, you know, what you've accumulated, the windfall. I would just say windfall of abundance, but windfall can go both ways. Windfall of trials, right? But foundations, privilege, affluence, stability, and tradition. That's powerful. So let's get to the next card before I get off track. The Knight of Wands. So, assertive, direct, impatient, intellectual, daring, focused, perfectionist, ambitious. At the end of all of that, after all of that thinking, after trying to figure it out, you still relied on perfection to be your guide. And The only things perfect in this world are you, how you naturally are. It's not much. There's not many perfect things in this world. It's what you deem is perfect for you. You have control over what's perfect for you. Don't let other ideas control your perfection. If everybody was the same, would anybody want to be different? We all come down here differently to experience the differences, different pieces of God, the different ways that somebody can act, the different emotions that we can react to, respond to. It doesn't matter. But yeah, at the place of your pleasure, which is your heart chakra, your place of polarity, you were not able to see from a higher perspective to formulate things. So you know how if you can see from a city view, you can see the crowd of people walking this way, and you can say, okay, if I put a store here and a store here and a store here, they'll have a trinity effect, whatever, and the next thing you know, I'll have these 200 people coming to my store a day, all because of the fact that I saw from a higher perspective the information. And this high priestess gives me that higher perspective information status you got going on. So maybe you got a subscription or something. Keep going. It's only $2. It's only $6, right? I believe you can afford it, because if it's for you, read it, watch it, practice with it. Practice makes perfect. So, if training is practice, if you train your body, you become a piece of perfection. But perfection in your eyes, how you see yourself. That's cool. So, even though that this wasn't handled, you understand, in my hopes, what you need to do to handle it. Think of the higher perspective. Think of how everything's running. You know, if you want to understand a higher perspective, you remember, hopefully you've seen the game The Sims, or any game like it. Google Maps even. Just imagine Google Maps. You can see people moving. The higher perspective. You can make better actions. Take a longer strides. Yeah, that's what it's giving me. So let's move on from there. When it comes to your solar plexus, which is holding next sag, you started off with the Two of Swords and ended off at the Queen of Pentacles. So let's start off with the Two of Swords real quick. I'm gonna run through them the other way this time. So now this is in your place of rhythm, right? Rhythm, smell, ego, the planet is Mercury or Venus, right? This is the house of communication, health, or value in relationships, right? Now it's saying that, let me read it for you. Stalemate, difficult choices, being stuck in the middle, denial, hidden information. So if you have a lack of information, you can't go on like, let's just say you had an army of people waiting to attack a fort, but needed that weak side, and you needed to know where the entrance was. If you don't know where that entrance was, all of your soldiers, most of your soldiers are gonna die, and you'll have to go home with your head down, tail between your legs. If only you had the information to move, would you be able to win that war? Easily, because they have no walls. You can get straight through them, right? There's nothing blocking you. So this is what this is giving me right now. And apparently, closing your eyes, meaning closing what you can see. Stop focusing on what you can see and focus on what your spirit can see. Alright, so moving on from there, you went to the Ace of Cups. It's still not on suit. This is supposed to be area of fire and fire only. There's fire in other places on this board, so it's not showing itself. And this is what gives me the clarification, right? So the Ace of Cups. We got love, new feelings, emotional awakening, creativity, spirituality, and intuition. Now, these feelings are not actions. Awakening is not an action. It's an inaction. Happens on the inside, right? Now, this is the reason why there's no movement. Now, my ears are ringing OD right now. Almost to the point I almost had to... I don't know if you saw my face. That was loud. Alright, I guess I'm on the right track. That was crazy. Alright. The Page of Pentacles was the next one. So let's get it. So, ambitious, diligent, goal-oriented, planner, consistent, star student, studious, grounded, loyal, faithful, dependable. Now, that sounds great, but the reason why that doesn't work here is because it's not the energy towards it. It's the plan. And that means you have been planning, but you have to enact or go through with some of these plans. Go through the fire. You gotta not be afraid to go through it. Pain is needed, is necessary. Hardships are necessary to train you. The push-ups are hard because you build muscle afterwards. It's a very good result. It's not, well, for some people it's very hard. For others it's not that hard, but to be consistent with it is a different story. Yeah, but I like that card. Alright. From there we went to the Magician, right? Willpower, desire, resourcefulness, skill, ability, concentration, and manifestation. So, what's the difference between rhythm and manifestation? Now, a manifestation is inanimate. I want to say right now. And I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to use our energy to will it into existence. So imagine it being an invisible piece of data, but when you put your energy towards it, it manifests into this reality. So let's just say you're thinking of words to write, and once you write it down, it manifests it into reality. So that's the action I'm talking about, but it happens differently when it comes up to the manifestations for you. And it seems like there are unlimited manifestations. Funny thing enough is that this Strength card has the infinity sign, and the Magician also has the infinity sign. So I'm noticing you've been on a cycle for a long time, but this is a cycle breaker energy, so that's a good sign. And after me saying cycle breaking, you got the Three of Swords. Let's get it real quick. For a second I thought it said human heartbreak. Don't ask me why. Watching too many alien videos. Heartbreak, separation, sadness, grief, sorrow, upset, loss, trauma, and tears. Now, the connection I see right now is heartbreak and the fact that this is your heart and it wasn't clarified. So there's a lot of work to do when it comes up to your emotions. And you're prepared for it as much as you would say that you're not. And even though that's hard to hear, it's not gonna take that long to get to the next side. You always see the light. The light is always visible. How long do you look at it? The more you look at it, the bigger it gets. So focus up. So we went from the Three of Swords to the Justice card. And as I said before, this Justice is going to be a big one. It's from Tiferet to Gebuda. Using your desire and what you care for in union. So if the Justice comes up over here and it highlights these two connections right here, you're doing things for the sole purpose of inner peace. That's what that is. And it's self-explanatory. Inner peace comes in many forms. But the form that's standing out to me the most is mental silence. Imagine you wake up and you ain't got nothing to think about. Those thoughts that you have in your head, no pressing conditions, no pressing chores, no errands to run, just peace. Claim that time. Don't look for something to do. You're already doing something, and that's being. Be at peace. Your body needs that time to wind down. We are constantly on go. I am guilty of this. I'm on my phone when I'm on the train instead of just being on the train, listening, close my eyes, listen to the tracks or something. Like, there's something else to do. I can think of what I'm gonna do when I get home and plan it out to the point where I don't actually use my mind. Like, everything is lined up, everything is planned out. I can just relax. So that inner peace is very important, because inner peace can be shown behind us. You can have no peace and have a smile on your face, and that's a dangerous person to be around, because that's a snapper. They'll snap. It's not that much armor holding them up. Snapping comes in different forms. Some people don't snap super physically, you know. They don't come after you with their fists. They snap with their words. They snap with the fact that now they want to defend themselves. Nobody wants to be backed into a corner. That kind of person will snap too. So be careful what you say around people who you know already. It gives you off that attitude, that energy. Like, okay, if I say this wrong thing to this person, they're going to react in a way that I am not equipped to handle. Thinking before you do anything is important. Thinking of the effects is important. But overthinking it keeps you stagnant. So be careful with that part. You went from the Justice to the Queen of Pentacles. Let's get it. Generous, caring, nurturing, homebody, good business sense, practical, comforting, welcoming, and sensible, luxurious. Now, this run was not completed, so you did not end off with fire. There's fire around in this board, so that means if you just switch up the way you think real quick, if you just allow yourself to learn yourself, if you allow yourself to find out what you want, if you allow yourself to calm your mind and listen to your spirit, if you allow yourself, because that's why the mind is in the way. The mind is in the way. And this is soulmate energy. Oh man. Alright, so if this is somebody that's taking your focus, and you came down here, you were born here to do God's deeds. That person is literally a devil in your life. Might as well be. Because God has things for you to do. And you don't have control over time. Waiting is not always the right thing. Sometimes you need to just, that's what it is. Waiting gives you time to think. So, in order not to overthink, plan harder. Because you won't be waiting. It'll be set. At this time, I'll do this. Don't need to think about it. Out of sight, out of mind. Set an alarm on your phone. Anything. But it's not you waiting in anticipation. And that anticipation becomes anxiety. And that anxiety pushes your energy to the part of, now I need to comfort myself. In order to do that, I use one of my vices. It's a circle. It's a big circle of how you respond and you react to things. So dissect it. Queen of Pentacles. I already said it, okay. So we explained the Hangman before, but just to give you an idea, this is a new perspective. And seeing things from a new way. seeing things from a point of, here it is. If you want God to bless you, you have to open up the channels. What does that mean? Think of it as hunting, but it's not you're hunting opportunities. You're hunting coincidences. If I put this bucket here while it's raining, or while it's cloudy out and I'm thirsty, when I come back, there's a chance it's going to be raining in that bucket. Chance I can drink something today. So you set up your blessing. But had you have not put in that bucket there would be no blessing. The blessing was waiting for you to come, and you could have missed it. So you have to give God space to bless you. And it might not even happen in any one of these ways that you say, any one of these ways that you set up, or not exactly how you think, but it will happen. And blessings come from everywhere. So the last card that needed to be clarified was for the space of Malkut, right? It started off with the 4 of Wands, ended off at the 9 of Pentacles. And this run was clear, so this is in the clear. So let's see what the 4 of Wands say. Community, home, celebrations, reunions, parties, gatherings, stability, and belonging. So when you think about a party, you gotta supply for the party. You gotta get this thing together. You use your energy. So let's just see. This is giving me energy of you celebrating too quickly. Like, imagine you shot a 3-pointer from half court and you celebrated before it went in, and next thing you know, it didn't go in. Like the chances say it shouldn't go in, right? But you believe that it already went through. You went ahead of yourself. You celebrated, yep, this is the thing, yep, this is definitely it. And in that celebration, you gained a bit of confidence, which is great, but also stubbornness. Because if you know it's the right thing, why should you change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's completely wrong. Because every time that something was hard to do, we also tried to fix it. Look who we are now. We wanted to live lives of luxury. And certain places don't have all that luxury. But we put our ideas and our skills together to make this place. I don't know. But after I said that, the Lovers was the next card. So naturally, love, unions, partnership, relationships, choices, romance, balance, and unity. How do you balance a fear? Because this is the energies that stop you from doing these things is fear, guilt, shame, and grief, right? There's more, but I'm gonna just leave it to these 4 right now. So you fear the soul connection. Why? Well, it says the primary meaning within the Lovers is harmony, attractiveness, and perfection in a relationship. Relationships, you can have a relationship with a crystal. You can have a relationship with a deck of cards. Whatever you want to have a relationship with, so it is. Because it just doesn't matter, right? That's how powerful you are. You give anything a consciousness. A good example of that is Castaway with what's his name? Forrest Gump. God damn it, what's his name? Tom Hanks. Castaway with Tom Hanks. Wilson, the volleyball, had a whole personality, and it kept him mental. It kept him sane for as long as he could. Same difference. Now, using that perspective, these are all Wilsons, right? But they have different names. The names are on the tree of life, and they talk to you. Well, not talk to you. You recognize it, or you register it as a perspective that you have. That's better. All right. Where did I go? From the Lovers, you have the Chariot, which is Cancer card, is my card. So let's see what it says. Alright, so the Chariot. Success, ambition, determination, willpower, control, self-discipline, and focus. Remember, I was talking about that focus. Your focus is the wheel of fortune now. So your focus goes from your will to your rhythm. Focus on what you're doing and everything lines up. Now let me move on. This is from the Chariot. You go to the 9 of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Pentacles somewhere, right? I'm gonna find it. Oh, duh. Alright, you went from, you had the 10 of Pentacles over here, and now it's the 9 of Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles, and this clears the run for it. So this is in the clear. Rewarded efforts, success, achievement, independence, leisure, material security, self-sufficiency. So having the strength to do it yourself gives you a certain sense of self-sufficiency. So remember how I was saying people were stealing from you? Because because you have enough strength now, or recognize the amount of strength it takes to hold your blessings to yourself. Not that you can't share them, but they need to benefit you. God bless you. Benefit you. You are the thing that blesses other people. So if you're not good, you can't bless other people. Hence, you're not doing God's work. God is like, come on, you need to bless yourself. You need to take care of yourself. I got some work for you to do. But rewarded efforts, very good feeling to have. It's like catching a fish or winning a race that you really didn't think you were gonna win. Getting a lucky shot on the game that gets you the game winner. Like, there's so many things. A sense of fulfillment. The 9 of Pentacles represents material security, enjoyment, and financial freedom. This card shows up as a reminder for the asker to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Savor the finer things in life. So, what it seems like other people are around you when you get your blessings, and then away from you when you don't have them, because there ain't nothing there for them. They came to collect, and now they're gone. Find out who is collecting on you, because somehow they have a way to get it, because you're not slow, you're not dumb, you're very smart. So how is it happening? It's just that they're powerfully ignorant or skillful dodgers. Ignorance is bliss. They're having a good time, and that's the only reason that it seems like you're the being the one handed the short end of the stick. I forgot the quote, but it's all a facade, because they know deep within that it's gonna take them some work to get back. They know deep within that it's not just given to you, you have to work for it. They know that. They know you can't just steal somebody else's blessing and it counts as their own. They can't hang around you while you learn your lessons and expect that to help them get to the next level. It requires work. And since you're the one who likes to do the work, you're the action sign. Since you like to do the work, people stay around you so they can eat off of the little work that you know, off of the spoils. Alright. So we're going to go into the next portion, which is called the Star Stream. And it's the last portion. I forgot to mention before, but the white cards, when I put that down, that's called the Pneuma effect. The Pneuma effect clarifies the reading. So the third part of the reading is the Star Stream, and it has to do with, let me get it for you. It has to do with experimentation, which is on this side right here. Let me put this right here, like that. Expression, integration, right? And transcendence. So what does that mean? In the journey of self-actualization, you can look it up at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And self-manifestation, self-actualization, learning everything that you can become and do, and doing it, right? That's how you grow spiritually. Well, that's how you achieve your highest spiritual rank. It's well-rounded, and what I was talking about is more mental and spiritual just now, but it is well-rounded in the physical sense too. So what you experiment with and the expressions that comes out of that experimentation, the experience, right? You integrate these experiences into your life to operate differently, to level up your whole process. So you know how there are tiers? This is the tier builder. This is where you go past tiers. And as I said before, this is your place of aspiration. So this is what you came for. And you can understand it as self-actualization also is what you get out of your aspiration. Alright, so we're going to draw more oracle cards for this. So let me get that 1 second. Just going to see, we're going to start off with experimentation, expression, integration, and transcendence. So let's start off with experimentation. What you can do with everything I said and move forward and experiment by yourself. So this is what this is about right now. How can you use the things that we learned today as manifestation tools? Because it can go in the ear and out the other. But did you get what you needed? Did you get the energy from it? Can you use it? So let's get the card out. Okay, this one. So focus. You have to focus you have to experiment with focusing. Now, what does that mean? You know about concentration and how when something is more concentrated, it's more potent. So potency is coming to me right now. What can you do to bring out more life in your creations? What can you do to bring out the best of your current situation? You can express feelings of gratitude. So gratitude is on a place of expression, right? Gratitude is the best attitude, or something like that. As I said before, your soul operates as a magnet to the ether, and whatever you are resonating with come towards you. So if you whatever energy you're pushing out, you get back. So if you're pushing out the energy of, oh, this is hard to do, this is stressful, I'm anxious now, I want to do something else, then God just presents you with more scenarios like this, probably because it's viewed as weak. But I'm not God. I'm just thinking off the top right now. But that's how you get stronger. It gotta put you through the worst. Oh, this bothers you? Yeah, let me give you another cycle of this. It won't bother you no more, I promise. That's hard, because as people we go through a lot daily, and this is why on rhythm you have the energy of transmutation, but it says transmute, and this is a snake. A snake shed its skin to grow bigger, I believe, right? So yeah, to allow the room to grow bigger, something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get these explanations, but too many cards. Alright, so relief, you know, all that anxiety, and then relief comes out, and transcendence, right? You need to find ways to relax. So people, I don't really do yoga or anything like that, but I do have my shows that I watch that gives me a lot of peace. You know, I watch animes all day, you know what I mean? But that brings me a sense of peace. I just curl up and just watch 5 episodes or something, and next thing you know, I'm asleep. I'm at peace, you know. But that's something little when it comes up to what you can do. People meditate, people purposely astral project, people I don't know why astral projection came out just now. So if you're having dreams, pay attention to your dreams. And even if it was scary, oh man, I used to have dreams of either my fears, but it was only because I thought of it. Once I stopped thinking about it, I haven't had the dream since. Crazy. If I have the dream today, I'm gonna be tired. But it wasn't a recurring dream, it was a recurring energy. So let's look at focus really quickly and see what it says. In regards to your experimentation, what you should experiment with, its focus. If you have been feeling scattered, now is the time to hone in on your desires. Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. Watch your thoughts, because you are drawing into your life what you are focusing on. Remember I just said you are a magnet. Be careful of your thoughts, because your thoughts emanate things back to you. It literally just comes back to you. It's a very difficult concept to, I would say, master, because I don't know if anybody in this world mastered it. That's hard. Well, currently for me right now. See? Meditate on this card when you want clarity and directness in thought and speech. So maybe writing down what you should be ting, or like write down overriding thoughts. So if you have a thought that says, "Oh, I'm slow. Oh, I don't know enough. Oh, I don't know enough." You write an aspiration that says, "I know everything I need to achieve my goals." And try to think it every time you think negative about your goal. Say, "I have everything I need." Cut that thought off, and eventually that thought will have less power, and that power will be reclaimed, so you can do other things. You have more focus, more energy, more of everything. I don't know why I put that there, but yeah, moving on from there, you have the area of expression. So this is emotional, but you need to express it to experience it. No, I mean, you need to experience it to get the true expression. That's what it is. And that one is gratitude. Alright. A deep honoring is present. Give and feel great thanks now for whatever blessings have arrived or are en route to you now. Drawing this card invites you to share your devotion or to outwardly express gratitude to someone or something for its presence in your life. Meditate or create a gratitude list for all that you are thankful for in your life. I didn't think it was going to say the list that I was just mentioning. Wow. That tripped me up a little bit. Because you create a list. That's a list of affirmations. I want this. I want this. My soul says it wants this. It wants this. Those are the things I'm going to go after. And instead of listening to everything else that I've accumulated before me, I would listen to myself and clear it all out. So I have more mental power, more space to think, less anxious, less problems, less reason to use so much mental energy. Yeah. So for integration, you have transmute, which is this snake right here, right? So transmute. To transmute is to convert one energy into another. A snake is a powerful symbol of transmutation. You are being invited to accept this gift of shedding to help you process something important. Use this ability to make magic by transmuting the snake's energy into something new and beneficial for your growth. Meditate on this symbol when you need some assistance in changing the energy in your life. So, I believe I said it before it came out, or before I read it. Yeah, but I guess that was just clarification on how to get the rhythm going. So look, self-care, but what they actually wrote was meditation. So yes, it is self-care, but whichever way you can think of to care for yourself, if meditation is not easy for you, just wing it, you know, go day by day with it, write it down, figure it out, plan it out, but remember to honor yourself. So last but not least, we have relief, and this is in a place that wasn't even finished. So let's see what this says. And it's opposite of anxiety, relief. The end of suffering or hard times, a much needed relief or break in the energy, miracles, rescue, and reprieve. Meditate on this symbol when all seems too much. Feel it blast out the negatives as you call in strength to your heart. The symbol is in strife. It is an Icelandic magical stave associated with ending suffering and calming anger. So I want you to understand one thing really quickly before we get out of here. Focus is opposite to relief. Now what does that mean? Let's think about it this way. They cancel each other out, while they actually are kind of opposites in general. But focus, it doesn't really have that emotional tag to it. The strenuous kind of thought process. But focus is anticipation. It's in anticipation. So you're focusing for a reason. Alright, so we come up to the end of this reading. I hope you got what you needed, what you came for, what you didn't even know that you needed. A new perspective that helped you out, an epiphany. That's what I want. I want everybody to have an epiphany in my readings. Why? Because that's the most powerful energetic change that can happen online through a reading. Honestly, an epiphany, a genuine epiphany. That's what I'm after, because those last long. And if I'm here to do God's work, I can only hope for the best. But with all that said, thank you for coming out, Sagittarius. I'm KyFy. Peace.